You see the king on one side and the other one the priest, symbolizing King Dirtad and St. Gregory the Illuminator, two of them coming hand in hand to establish the Christian Armenian state. This is called the Doors of St. Dirtad, and this was erected in, I believe it was 2001, on the 1700th anniversary of Christianity into Armenia. So 301 plus 1700, 2001. As we go in, part of this new construction process is this outdoor altar. So many of their activities, what you're seeing right in front of us is the main cathedral of Etchmiadzin. That's what was built in 301, that cathedral. And every Armenian church follows that example. This outdoor altar was created over here to use services that are on a larger scale, especially things like the blessing of the Miron. It will take place here. Consecrations, right here, yeah. And this is where they have the service. Let's go over right in front of it and we'll take a picture of it. Yes, modern simplicity. During the years of communism, well, actually, let's back up a little bit before. 1915, during the genocide, many of the refugees from the villages ended up coming here to Etchmiadzin. And there are several pictures in history books and, of course, on the internet of refugees setting up camp in this area. These would be the Armenians that escaped from Turkey and came out here. So Etchmiadzin became this refuge for them. These buildings that you see over there, these were, during the Soviet years, the monastery ended right there at those buildings. And I'm going to show you where I stayed, what my room was when we go inside. But this was the extent of Etchmiadzin. That's all it was. Since the Soviet Union crumbled, His Holiness Vazken II has expanded so much, including this place on the left side, which is a part of the education program. What you see on the right of that is a little area where they have outdoor events, outdoor gatherings, and of course this outdoor altar, because you've got so many people coming to events that they can't pack into the thing. Now this used to be an old communist center, and they took this over and is now the new seminary. And on the side is, you saw where the seminarians go and learn. Let's go in because there's a lot to see, okay? Each of these khachkars on your right have been taken from different places, and there's dates on them to identify, along with the places that they've been brought over from. So think about them as a preservation, a means of preserving them from many of the monasteries that were taken over. Now don't forget that Armenia is right at the junction of three continents, Europe, Asia, and Africa. So you got Mongols, you got everybody coming through Armenia, raping and pillaging the land. It's like an unusual place. That's why our history is just so filled with this. And these crossstones have witnessed so much, but they had to get them out. Otherwise they would have probably, we've been to a house actually on the other side of Ararat in one of the villages where the villagers, they're Turks, they've taken the crossstones, they've chipped them up, and they've used them to decorate their walls. You know, I guess it's a blessing, yeah. Like, anyway, take a look, and we'll keep walking. If you touch them, they have energy.
They're in the British Museum.
Yeah. Now I'll show you the building that I went to. It's a seminary, which is now just converted into offices.
describe the earth on the bottom.
Yes,
the
exactly.
cross, and
So now you're reading them. You're going to be an expert on these.
we'll tell the story. Beautiful.
This is a beautiful one. I like this. The crosses of heaven. The new student dormitories is that back building over there, the one that was brand new made. Those are the dorm rooms. And let's go take a little right turn over here. I'll show you where I spent a couple of years of my life. I was here from 77 and 78. It was less than that, but who's counting? And I'll tell you, like one of the deals was, Vacha Serpazan says, I want you to learn as good Armenian as I can speak English. So that was the criteria. I came here solely to learn Armenian, and I put my effort into it. I just studied like crazy. This was my room.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to go stand by there. Come on. That's awesome.
Գներեք։ Ինչ սենյակ է, ինչ գրասենյակ է։
Հիմա արտաքին հարաբերությունների, արտաքին հարաբերությունների եւ արվակարգային բաժնի գրասենյակն է։
So this is now the relationship of the dioceses, the diasporan dioceses. That I'd opened it up. He's in here. So my bed used to be here. I used to. That was my refrigerator. Սասարանը այդ բադուհանն էր, որ ուտելիք ենք տնում, մածուն եւ թուրսից սարը։ Սիրուն հիշադակ է, ինչ որ է։ Շնորհակալ ենք. As you see, this is it. Oh. Եսի կարեկին նժդեին գդակ։ Եսի օրտնություն։ Արդե չէ, ինք է օրտնությունը մեր վրա, չէ։ Բադյապա։ Ուտեն կայզի, ուտեն։ Ազիզ, ասված բա է։ Ինչ սիրուն երեխա է։
Ուղարկեք մեզ։
Շնորհակալություն։
Օ։ Աբրիս։ Օ։
Oh my
Ուդեմ, ուդեմ քեզի։ Սկուշեղե, գուդեմ ես ասոր, համով է։ Կարեկին։ Կարեկին։ Ռամեցեք։ Ամեն լավություն եմ մաղթում ցեզի, հաջողություն ցեզ։
Մենք տեսնենք ամիս կամ մի կանգում։
Եղավ։
Շնորհակալություն։
Հաջողություն, ասված օրհն է։ So this used to be the old seminary building. Now it's the department heads, the ministries of Etchmiadzin. That new building over there is the baptistry. That's where baptisms take place. Well, you can imagine people from all over the world come to get baptized. This outer part is the original part of the original building. And of course, through the centuries, much has been added, taken away by different people. So let's start over here. All Armenian altars throughout the world, they face the east, because from the east is where the light comes. Now you can imagine it's probably because of practicality. Before electricity, they would have it pointing that way because that's where you'd get your light for your services. But it also has this beautiful double meaning that, you know, the light comes from the east and we face the light. So the altar is right back here. We're going to go around and come in through the front door, the western side, okay? Let's go. And this is all renovation. They were hoping to have this renovated by September of this year, but I just heard that it's not going to make it. So I don't know what we're going to find, if they're going to allow us to go in or not. So let's go. So when we were seminarians, not the seminarians, it wasn't like slave labor, but they would have, so you could imagine that these stones are put on top of each other, and inside the stones you'd get some dirt, and dirt would bring also seeds. So especially on the top domes, you'd have seeds growing inside of the areas, and they could, the roots would expand and I guess crack the seals, yeah. So they'd have people go up there and literally pull out the weeds. So when I saw that, I said, I'm going to do it. There's a picture of me on the internet somewhere on the main dome. Today I look at it and I say, I must have been crazy. But I went up to that top dome over there and did the picking once. And after the Second World War, His Holiness Vazken I had it converted into a living quarter and offices for the Mother See. And until today, it's a beautiful little area where the Catholicos resides. And all the offices on the side, like the ministries that they have, the ministry for, like the one man we met just now was for the diaspora. There's other ministries for inside, like the monasteries, ministries to take care of the needy, such as what we saw today. So all kinds of stuff. These are some of the Catholicoi that are very revered by the people. In fact, it's not uncommon to wake up in the morning and see that some of the locals have brought over flowers. So this is the main entrance to the church. You'll notice up on top a lot of reflection of Persian influence, yeah. So throughout the centuries, different people, different conquerors who've come through. There's all kinds of things remnant. You could read these. Inside the cathedral is what's called the Table of Descent, and it's right in the dead center of it. It's where Jesus has come down, and there's four corners, like what do you call them? Giant nails, where he's pounded and said, "This is where he's." The vision of Saint Gregory was that he came down with a golden hammer and said, "This is where you will build the Church of the Armenian people." And so those are placed right dead center of the entire cathedral. And when a bishop is ordained, consecrated, his first service that he does is right on that table. It's a very small table, right in the middle of it. And of course the rest of it is a church. We'll find some pictures so we can look at them. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry that it's still being renovated, but it is what it is. But that's okay. There's so much more we're going to see. Come on. There are two very special graves that people still remember, and one of them is Vazken I, one of the longest reigning Catholicoi in our church. I think
1955 was when he became
Catholicos, yeah. So he reigned for 39 years. It's the, I think, if not the longest, probably the second longest, I think. And then one of the shorter reigns was His Holiness Godekin I, who succeeded him, took on the name Godekin, and that's why today's is Godekin II. He died of cancer in 1999, and his motto here is "Love never dies." Amen.
Perfect.
And then the other one that was very, very famous, and again is revered. See, in fact, there's still flowers there. Is this one? He taught about self-reliance and stop looking for other people to solve your issues. Believe in yourself. Yeah.
He wrote the wooden, not the wooden, the paper spoon ladle, paper ladle.
He says I went to Berlin to represent the Armenian people, and he says all the other representatives from all the countries, they came, and in the middle of the room was this giant bowl of harissa, keshkeg, the thick. And he says all the other countries came in with their big spoons, ladles. They put it in and drew out big portions. And he says when it was my turn as the Armenian, he says they gave me a paper ladle. And you could imagine if you go use a paper ladle, it all spilled out. And he says, people, get over this thing that other people are gonna take care of you. Take care of yourself. Believe in yourself. Where are my people? Where are the people that should be around me?
Every time.
And he called people. It's an incredible story, yeah. So, he was the one who also established the Diocese of the United States.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, right at that time. He was there from 1820 to 1907. So in 1887, he realized that there were Armenians that were going to America, and it was important to have the church there. So he established the Diocese of the United States of America.